Scott C. Keller has become one of the largest single private apartment owners in the western United States, but he comes from simple and even humble circumstances. Keller grew up in a small town in Nevada where life was relatively uneventful, but it was anything but boring. Scott found plenty of ways to keep himself busy and entertained, and he believed that the best kind of busy was one that paid the bills. Busy and entertained would become lifelong pursuits of Keller, and he managed to find plenty of ways to do that growing up.
My first job was selling the Grit. It was a newspaper out of Pennsylvania. I went door to door, sold it for 15 cents, made a nickel. And I like the word grit. People have told me I have grit. I like grit. And that was my first job, along with a newspaper, delivering newspapers for the Las Vegas Sun and the Las Vegas Review-Journal right here in town. And then I worked at a gas station on the Las Vegas Strip, where city center is located.
Fortunately, the fast and flashy lifestyle of the Vegas Strip had little appeal for Keller. In a world where so much came and went overnight, he was more interested in building something that would last.
Worked for my dad after school and on Saturdays, most every day. I worked on his rental houses, which eventually inspired me to a career path with what I'm doing now, except on a much larger scale. But as a river guide, I worked for my brother, who owns Western River Expeditions. We ran rivers from Salmon, Middle Fork in Idaho to the Yampa and the Green and the Colorado, including the Grand Canyon, as a professional whitewater river guide. And well, I really believed I could do better. I recognized that my boss and my boss's boss, whatever they were making, which I estimated, was not as much as I would like to make myself. And I knew they weren't going to pay me more than what they were making, and so it encouraged me to go out on my own and start investing in real estate, single-dwelling homes, such as what my father had here in Las Vegas. When I was a river guide, I took down as a trip leader many successful people, and I remember asking one gentleman who built skyscrapers in Dallas, what would you recommend to a young man like myself? I was 24. What you would recommend to me to be successful like you? What things should I be thinking about and incorporate? He says, Scott, I'll tell you in 2 words, and if you remember these words, I promise you, you will look me up one day and thank me for making you a millionaire. Well, that was a bigger number than what I could comprehend, but the fact is, he told me, he says, those 2 words are obligate yourself. And over time, I've considered what that meant to me. And to obligate myself is to accept responsibilities that I otherwise may not have gone out and taken on myself, but by being asked to do something or to commit to something helped me to prosper. And I've just been doing the same thing. I've invested in other business opportunities, and I've prospered in those areas, but the core of my business is student housing and multifamily. And that just seems to be the sweet spot. The core of my business is multifamily, and I'm a landlord. People say, hey, Keller, what's up? And I say the rent. Well, sometimes.
Life is best when you're busy and entertained. Life is really great when the thing that keeps you busy is also entertaining.
People have asked me my entire career what I would advise them to do to get into the same industry and business that I am in. I've thought about that over time, and my recommendations are, number 1, borrow all the money that you can. Why? To leverage. Your returns are infinitely greater by borrowing part and putting in another part without using all of your own money. Secondly, to always pay it back and pay it back on time per the terms that you've agreed. Why? So you can borrow more. Never met a loan I didn't like. So pay it back so you can go back and borrow more. 3, Try to avoid anything litigious. Stay with your core. Stay to the path that you've planned for the year. Stick to your game plan. Often in lawsuits, the only ones that make money are the attorneys, and it's false economics. Number 4, always have a nice tan. And it shows balance. It says you just got back from Hawaii or off the golf course. It says you play hard, you work hard. So with that, investing in hard asset, income-producing properties that provide tax benefits that are beyond what you would think, that are legal, and you have an income stream that's quality, quantity, and durability of income, you soon have a coupon clipper that comes in every quarter or every month, however you choose to pay yourself, with an asset that grows in value and historically will continue to.
Every successful individual or endeavor has a secret formula or a key principle that sits at the center of their prosperity. For Scott Keller, it's integrity.
People have asked to jump in and they don't know how to do it, but this is what we do, and we give plenty of people opportunities that every single one of them love us and appreciate us and would continue to reinvest with us because we do what we say. And we hit our numbers or exceed them significantly. In every case, no one loses money. In income producing, appreciating with tax benefit kinds of properties. You put all those factors together, where do you get all those factors in the stock market? There's no depreciation in the stock market. You're subjected to the dictates and whims of whomever else, where to place your money or what they invest in. Here you're in control. You can drive by, touch, feel, see tangible assets and say, I own that. And it's a wonderful thing. I don't understand why everybody doesn't do it.
Integrity is why Scott still does longhand pro formas. It is why he invests in upscale, affordable properties and makes improvements when and where needed. He invests in properties with potential, and he understands that one of the best ways to keep a property protected and profitable is to invest in the community around it. Keller Investment Properties seeks to set a standard that others will rise to and flock toward.
The future is bright. Let's grow and succeed together. If I were investing in anything, any product, and any group, I would consider seriously looking at Keller Investment Properties.